1318 1318. Chapter 1318. So quick to deliver heads. Grabbing his own vines to retreat, Lin Moyu seized the moment of regained freedom, his feet exerting force, and his entire body shot out like lightning. In an instant, he crossed hundreds of kilometers, leaving the flaming tornado far behind. Only then did Lin Moyu turn around to see what was happening there. In the flaming tornado, the sand dunes rolled and surged, and huge vines drilled out from the sand, dancing in the air. They seemed very angry, with the vines waving menacingly in the air. Lin Moyu smiled slightly. He knew exactly why the opponent was angry. The soul had been attacked, causing unbearable pain, and anyone would be furious. Fusion spell. Time curse. In Lin Moryu's combat system, the time curse was no longer considered powerful, but it had two advantages. The first advantage was that even if you were at the high level of the Divine King realm, you would still be affected. You might not be injured, but at least you would feel pain. And it was soul-level pain, unbearable for ordinary people. So it could interrupt many spells and serve as a good harassment tool. The second advantage was that it didn't need to lock onto a target. With Lin Moryu's current strength, the coverage of the time curse exceeded 1,000 kilometers, and it was a three-dimensional coverage. Even hiding underground was useless. When you couldn't find a target, the time curse was a very useful spell. In fact, Lin Moyu had another spell that could quickly locate enemies and was equally convenient. That was the bone armor. Through the linkage of multi-star spells, once someone attacked him, the spell would automatically lock onto the enemy and counterattack. However, the bone armor was a passive enemy finding spell, and due to the significant difference in strength, the counterattack power of the spell linkage was indeed insufficient, so Lin Moyu hadn't used it for a long time. The greatest use of the bone armor was actually in battles of the same realm, especially in group battles. But he had always overwhelmed enemies with numbers, rarely encountering situations where he was overwhelmed. Boom! A rumbling sound came from the sky again, and the sky shook. Lin Moyu noticed that fireball number 6 seemed to have grown larger. It had indeed grown larger. To be precise, it had expanded. In just a few seconds, it expanded several times. Then it exploded, and flames fell like meteors, just like the flaming meteors in the outer layer. However, the power of the flaming meteors at this moment was greater. Cultivators below the 5th level of the Divine King realm would be in great danger, facing the risk of falling at any moment. Moreover, the danger not only came from the flaming meteors in the sky, but also from the yellow sand everywhere, even beneath the yellow sand. The yellow sand flew, merging with earth and stone laws, combining to form countless sharp stone spikes. Each stone spike was extremely sharp, intimidating to behold. Beneath the ground, the yellow sand also exploded, and countless vines lashed out like whips. Flames, stone spikes, and vines formed a three-dimensional attack. Even a 7th-level Divine King, without sufficient adaptability and powerful magical treasures, would die here. This alone clearly distinguished the middle layer from the outer layer. In the outer layer, except for leader-level monsters, as long as you didn't court death, there wasn't much danger. Even leader-level monsters had high defense and low attack. If you wanted to escape, you could still save your life. But in the middle layer, the situation completely changed. The difficulty increased significantly, and you could lose your life at any moment. Lin Moyu analyzed all this, ignoring the incoming danger. He had too many ways to avoid these crises, such as bursting out with enough speed to dodge these attacks directly. But Lin Moyu chose the simplest and most brutal method. A skeleton throne burning with fierce flames appeared in midair. The skeleton king stood up, the blood-red cloak behind him fluttering in the wind. The skeleton king's eyes glowed with terrifying red light, locking onto the vines underground and slashing out with a sword. The divine slash exploded on the vines, cutting countless vines in half. A hoarse scream echoed again. The divine slash not only cut the vines but also struck the main body of the vines.
Still not dead.
Lin Moyu had already connected to the Skeleton King's undead vision and saw the soul fire still flickering beneath the yellow sand. Under the Skeleton King's divine slash, The soul fire had significantly weakened but was not extinguished. Plant-type monsters had very strong vitality. At this moment, the flaming meteors and stone spikes arrived. Lin Moyu ignored the stone spikes, letting them hit his body. The stone spikes carried powerful earth and stone laws, enough to harm a 7th-level divine king. The damage was transferred to the undead, and in the spell star, the million-strong legion commander simultaneously healed the undead. The healing effects stacked almost infinitely, like cheating. As soon as the undead took some damage, they were immediately healed. By now, the attacks of a 7th-level divine king could no longer truly harm Lin Moyu. The skeleton king quickly swung his giant bone sword, creating an impenetrable barrier, blocking all the flaming meteors outside. Lin Moryu's approach was simple and brutal, using just one spell to block the danger here. He walked forward leisurely, unhurriedly. The stone spikes continued to attack, and the flaming meteors in the sky never stopped. Only the vines stopped harassing, scared by the skeleton king's divine slash. If it were someone else, they would definitely use magical treasures to cross this area as quickly as possible. How could they walk as slowly as Lin Moyu? The skeleton king followed beside him, the long sword forming an impenetrable barrier. It not only blocked all the flaming meteors but also some of the stone spikes. From the information transmitted by the skeleton king, Lin Moyu could feel the power of the flaming meteors. Combined with the stone spike attacks he endured, he could roughly analyze the strength of the middle layer. After walking over 10,000 kilometers, the continuous rain of fire in the sky suddenly stopped without warning. The stone spikes also scattered, turning into wind and sand and disappearing. He had walked out of this area with a diameter of over 10,000 kilometers, passing the entrance test of the middle layer. Lin Moyu looked at fireball number 6 in the sky, and the now calm yellow sand ground behind him, lost in thought.
If you can't even pass this area, you have no qualification to operate in the middle layer. This is a threshold, just like a dungeon in a small world, requiring a certain level to enter. If your level is too low, entering the dungeon is seeking death. It's better not to go. The same principle applies here, just one is more direct, the other more subtle.
Lin Moyu thought, feeling that his guess was mostly correct. He slowly retracted his gaze and looked in another direction. 100 kilometers away, yellow sand flew into the sky, and 2 huge stone balls were rolling rapidly within the yellow sand. The stone balls carried immense momentum, stirring up large amounts of yellow sand, like a sandstorm, covering the sky.
Stone demons.
Lin Moyu immediately recognized the 2 stone demons and understood why they were coming. They probably saw the flaming meteors and came to check. If they were of the same race, they would greet them. If they were of a different race, they would kill them. The stone demons' minds weren't complex, probably for this reason. Lin Moyu chuckled.
So quick to deliver heads, just in time to ask some questions.
The skeleton king responded, raising his sword. Spell, Divine Slash, 1319, 1319. Chapter 1319. Communicating with stone demons is really exhausting. The sword light exploded, and the 2 stone demons rolling forward were shattered, their bodies turning into large chunks of stone, scattering everywhere. The bodies of stone demons are composed of stones, and the higher their level, the thicker and heavier the stones. The stones serve as both their bodies and armor, making stone demons' defense the best among the demon race. The skeleton king's sword injured the 2 stone demons, but couldn't kill them instantly. Both stone demons were at the 7th level of the divine king realm, not much weaker than the skeleton king. The shattered stones rolled back, and the laws acted as threads, pulling the stones back together to reassemble their bodies. However, there were now gaps in their bodies. The divine slash wasn't without effect. The 2 stone demons stared at Lin Moyu with full vigilance, their eyes filled with shock. They were surprised to encounter a human here. As far as they knew, humans hadn't set foot here for over 1,000 years, so why were they here now? What puzzled them even more was that the human in front of them was just a true god. Stone demons, following their habit of not thinking about things they couldn't understand, began to show fierce glints in their eyes, hidden behind the large stones.
Human brat, die!
Without any unnecessary words, the stone demons attacked directly. A piece of shattered stone appeared beside Lin Moyu, with liquid faintly flowing within it, a piece of the stone demon's flesh. In the outer layer, there were a total of 4 stone demons at the 7th level of the Divine King realm. After Lin Moyu killed one, he used it extravagantly as a resurrected being but didn't get much useful information. The remaining 3 were used as materials for corpse explosions, becoming powerful weapons in Lin Moryu's hands. With a flash of light in his hand, Lin Moyu locked onto the souls, and the stone demons' shattered stones broke apart on the spot. Stellar level spell. Corpse explosion. The explosion sounded almost simultaneously, and the 2 stone demons that had just pounced were blown to pieces on the spot. The bodies of the 7th level Divine King stone demons could potentially kill an 8th level Divine King. Even now, splitting the explosion to kill 2 7th level Divine King stone demons was no problem at all. The stone demons' bodies shattered again, turning into pieces of stone scattered all over the ground. This time, even the laws were blown apart, their souls extinguished, unable to reassemble. Their proud defense was useless against an attack far beyond their endurance. With a casual gesture, a piece of stone flew into Lin Moryu's hand. This piece of stone was from one of the stone demons' bodies. If one was used, another had to be replenished. As for the other body, it was now enveloped in undying flames. Lin Moyu used Resurrection of the Dead, releasing a ball of undying flames to turn the other stone demon into a resurrected being. Soon, the 7th level Divine King stone demon respectfully knelt before Lin Moyu, its massive body like a small mountain. Lin Moyu casually asked,
Do you know the conditions for the appearance of leader-level monsters in the middle layer? Yes.
The stone demon replied in a hoarse voice, giving a definite answer. Lin Moyu was pleasantly surprised, not expecting to get an answer so quickly. He didn't believe in coincidences. It was clearly not a secret, and anyone entering this area should know. After waiting for a few seconds, the stone demon remained kneeling, motionless. Lin Moyu slapped his forehead, realizing he had made a mistake. The stone demon's mind was too simple. He had asked if it knew the conditions for the appearance of leader-level monsters, and the stone demon had answered honestly. But he hadn't asked for the specific conditions, and with the stone demon's simple mind, it wouldn't continue to answer.
Really stupid.
He muttered, not sure if he was cursing the stone demon or himself, and then asked,
What are the specific conditions?
The resurrected stone demon immediately replied,
Collect enough crystal cores and combine them. As long as the quantity is sufficient, you can summon a leader-level monster.
Lin Moyu continued to ask,
How many are needed specifically?
The stone demon replied in a muffled voice,
I don't know.
Lin Moyu believed that the resurrected stone demon wouldn't lie. If it said it didn't know, then it really didn't know.
Could there be other factors involved?
Lin Moyu pondered, feeling that talking to intelligent beings was indeed more interesting. Of course, talking to normal beings was fine too, but talking to such a stupid creature was a bit frustrating. After a few seconds of contemplation, Lin Moyu didn't stop asking but changed his approach.
Is the number of crystal cores needed to summon a leader-level monster fixed?
The stone demon replied in a low voice,
If they are 7th level crystal cores, more are needed. If they are 8th level crystal cores, fewer are needed.
Lin Moyu finally understood. It wasn't that the stone demon was unclear, but that he hadn't asked clearly enough. In the middle layer, summoning a leader-level monster required enough crystal cores. This
Enough
didn't refer to the number of crystal cores but the energy contained within them. As long as the energy was sufficient, a leader-level monster could be summoned. In the middle layer, there were 2 levels of monsters, 7th level Divine Kings and 8th level Divine Kings. The crystal cores they dropped were also divided into 2 levels. The energy contained in 7th level crystal cores was naturally much less than that in 8th level crystal cores. With a fixed energy requirement, using all 8th level crystal cores would naturally require fewer. But anyone with common sense would know that hunting 8th level Divine King monsters was much harder than hunting 7th level ones. In terms of cost effectiveness, it was better to hunt more 7th level Divine King monsters. Lin Moyu took out all the crystal cores he currently had, totaling over 1,000. There were many, but the quality was not ideal. They ranged from the 4th to the 6th level of the Divine King realm. These crystal cores were all collected from the demon strongholds in the outer layer. Through his questioning of the stone demon, Lin Moyu discovered more differences between the outer and middle layers. In the outer layer, the crystal cores obtained from hunting could be used personally and didn't need to be handed over. But in the middle layer, half of the crystal cores obtained from hunting had to be handed over. For every 2 obtained, 1 had to be handed over. This 1 was used to summon leader-level monsters. This discovery gave Lin Moyu an idea. He could replicate this method, robbing the demon strongholds in the middle layer and taking their crystal cores for himself. That way, even if the crystal cores were insufficient, they wouldn't be too far off. At least it would save him a lot of time. Lin Moyu continued to ask,
"When was the last time a leader-level monster was summoned?"
The stone demon answered honestly,
59 years ago.
Lin Moyu murmured,
"It's been 59 years. The stone demon stronghold should have accumulated a lot of crystal cores. And it proves that each summoning requires a significant number of crystal cores."
Looking at the still kneeling stone demon, he continued to ask,
"How many keys does each leader-level monster drop?" 2 to 3.
Hearing this, Lin Moyu was slightly surprised. That number was a bit low. It meant that each appearance could grant at most 2 or 3 people the qualification to enter the deep layer. Of course, reaching the 9th level of the Divine King realm wasn't easy. But the demon race had a large population, and even if the 9th level Divine Kings were few, there were still some. Lin Moyu realized another problem.
How many 9th level Divine King demons are there in the middle layer?
1,320. 1,320. Chapter 1320. Formulating a Plan, Heaven's Net. Through his communication with the stone demon, Lin Moyu realized that there might be 9th level Divine King demons in the middle layer. If there were only 9th level Divine Kings and not too many of them, it would be manageable. But if a minor Divine Sovereign were present, things would become tricky. It's not that 9th level Divine Kings can't enter the deep layer. The key issue is that they can't. There are too few keys, and each time only 2 or 3 can enter. Over hundreds of years, only a few dozen have managed to enter. The demon race is a powerful race, and being a powerful race means not only having super strong individuals but also a large population. In the Stone Demon faction alone, it's not surprising to have dozens or even hundreds of 9th level Divine Kings. The Stone Demon's muffled voice sounded,
"There are 3 9th level Divine King demons. Are there any minor Divine Sovereigns?" "No minor Divine Sovereigns."
Lin Moyu breathed a sigh of relief. The number wasn't large, only
5, 7, 3.
3, and there were no minor Divine Sovereigns. He estimated his combat power and, with the element of surprise, a bloodbath at the demon stronghold shouldn't be a problem. A plan gradually formed in his mind. First, clear out the demons in the middle layer and take their accumulated crystal cores. If that's not enough, he would hunt the middle layer monsters to obtain more crystal cores. He aimed to collect enough crystal cores in the shortest time possible to summon a leader-level monster. Then, he would use the elemental lich to kill the leader-level monster and obtain the key. The leader-level monsters in the middle layer are at the 8th level of the Divine King realm, while the elemental lich is at the 9th level. Being just 1 level higher would only reduce the drop rate, not prevent the key from dropping. He only needed 1 key, so this restriction wasn't a problem. He was confident in the elemental lich's combat power. Killing the leader-level monster shouldn't be an issue. If that didn't work, he could do it himself. After simulating the plan and finding no issues, Lin Moyu began to act. He had the resurrected stone demon lead the way towards the demon stronghold. Outside the yellow earth desert, in the nameless void, a teleportation array suddenly lit up. This teleportation array was on the other side of the yellow earth desert, hidden in the void and surrounded by a special barrier, making it hard to detect. Zhu Qiwu hadn't thoroughly investigated it before, but now the activation of the teleportation array immediately caught his attention.
A demon's teleportation array.
He instantly recognized it as a demon's teleportation array. When the teleportation array activated, a massive barrier appeared first. Of course, in Zhu Qiwu's eyes, this barrier was nothing and could be broken with a flick of his hand. He was just curious about what the demons were up to and why they were activating the teleportation array. He could tell it was a military-grade large teleportation array, capable of transporting a large number of troops at once. The first batch of troops appeared from the teleportation array, a whole army of about 1,000, all divine kings. There were demons of various attributes, and although their attributes differed, they complemented each other perfectly, not conflicting but rather complementing each other on a law level. Such a combination was considered elite even in the demon army. Especially at the forefront of the team, there was a huge demon. He was surrounded by abyssal fire, which was dark green and incredibly deep. This was a flame demon and a divine sovereign level flame demon at that. His appearance made Zhu Qiwu even more curious. Why would the demon army come here, and why would they even deploy a divine sovereign? After a brief interval, the teleportation array activated again, sending over another batch of troops. The second batch consisted of 100 demons, all divine kings. This time, they were all illusion demons. Seeing the arrival of the illusion demons, Zhu Qiwu showed a peculiar expression. Illusion demons weren't known for their combat strength. They had two major strengths. One was creating illusions. Illusions were used to trap enemies and provide support for their companions. On the battlefield, a team with illusion demon support could see their combat power increase significantly. The second strength was speed. Illusion demons were very fast, among the top in the demon race. Although not as fast as the Golden Eagle tribe, they were faster than most races. Illusion demons were rare in the demon race, only slightly more common than bewitching demons. They rarely appeared in large groups. Seeing 100 illusion demons appear simultaneously was very unusual. By now, Zhu Qiwu had guessed that these guys were likely here for Lin Moyu. He speculated that Lin Moyu must have done something inside. Zhu Qiwu knew nothing about the situation inside the Yellow Earth Desert, so he couldn't guess what Lin Moyu had done. But he was sure that Lin Moyu must have killed many demons. Otherwise, they wouldn't have reacted this way. Demons communicated information very quickly. If an avatar was killed, the main body would instantly know the entire process and react accordingly. This was one of the most troublesome aspects of the demon race. The teleportation array continued to operate, and more demons appeared. The third batch consisted of only 2 demons, but their auras were astonishing. One was an illusion demon divine sovereign, and the other was a stone demon divine sovereign.
Even he has come.
Zhu Qiwu recognized the divine sovereign illusion demon, known as the Nightmare Sovereign. He was the latest to achieve divine sovereign status among the illusion demons and had caused significant harm to the human race when he was a divine king. Seeing the stone demon divine sovereign, Zhu Qiwu understood a bit more. The Yellow Earth Desert was dominated by 2 laws, the Earth Law and the Stone Law. Stone demons excelled in the Stone Law, so they likely considered the Yellow Earth Desert a sacred training ground. If Lin Moyu had entered and killed these guys, including some avatars, it would have attracted more demons. Zhu Qiwu also guessed that the demons already knew Lin Moryu's identity. After all, Lin Moyu was a well-known genius on the demon race's kill list and topped both the human race's potential and combat power rankings. To kill Lin Moyu, a small number of troops wouldn't suffice. This time, they not only deployed elite divine king troops and a powerful divine sovereign flame demon, but also over 100 divine king illusion demons and a divine sovereign illusion demon. Additionally, there was a divine sovereign stone demon. This lineup was more than enough to kill not just 1 but 10 or even 100 Lin Moryus. Clearly, the demon race had made Lin Moyu their top enemy. determined to kill him. Zhu Qiwu wasn't surprised. If he were in their position, he would do the same. A genius like Lin Moyu could either be a member of their race or an enemy. If given the chance, he must be killed. Zhu Qiwu didn't take action. He concealed himself, his eyes cold.
If I kill all these guys, the demon race will surely feel the pain.
Not to mention, illusion demons were rare. Losing over 100 at once would drive the demon race mad. The Nightmare Sovereign flew over the yellow earth desert, while the 100 illusion demons surrounded it.
Create the illusion!
The Nightmare Sovereign's sole voice echoed through the starry sky. Then, the 100 illusion demons simultaneously cast their spells, weaving an illusion. The illusion, led by the demon divine sovereign, enveloped the yellow earth desert like a bubble. No matter where Lin Moyu tried to leave the yellow earth desert, he would fall into the illusion. The elite Divine King team was ready to strike at any moment. The trap was set, just waiting for Lin Moyu to walk into it. 1321, 1321. Chapter 1321. The method in the outer layer no longer works. The entire Area 6 is elliptical, much larger than Area 2. In the yellow earth desert, the deeper the area, the larger the territory. The demon's stronghold is about 10,000 kilometers from the center of Area 6. From the center point, the monster's levels increase to the 8th level of the Divine King realm. Moreover, the closer to the deep layer, the denser the monsters. Therefore, the demon's stronghold is not set at the center but slightly off-center. Lin Moyu naturally understood why they did this. This way, they could avoid the 8th level Divine King monsters while still being able to hunt them at any time. Even if they encountered danger, as long as they were not far from the stronghold, they could lure the monsters back and kill them together.
With the stone demon's brains, they probably wouldn't think this through so carefully. But within the demon race, it's not just the stone demons who come here. Previously, in the outer layer, there were other demons present.
The demon race is a strong race with many internal factions. There are countless types of demons, probably exceeding 10,000. Besides the stone demons who are proficient in earth and stone laws, there are other demons who also master earth and stone laws, or even the laws of the earth. Unlike the human race, which has the sea of laws, it's normal for them to come here. Lin Moyu didn't find this surprising. After all, he would just kill them. No matter what kind of demon, they would all end up as dead demons. One by one, Death Knights silently spread out in all directions, their war horses burning with undying flames, leaving shallow footprints in the sand. Based on his experience in the outer layer, Death Knights, being non-living entities, wouldn't attract attacks from the desert monsters, making them the best scouts. But this was only based on outer layer experience. The outer and middle layers are different. The yellow earth desert was quiet, with undulating sand dunes forming an endless world. One Death Knight ran tens of thousands of kilometers, crossing sand dunes, and quickly sent back information. The Death Knight saw a blazing soul fire through its undead vision, and Lin Moyu saw the monster through the Death Knight's eyes. It was a withered giant tree. The tree was only half its original height, with its vines and branches scattered on the yellow sand. The Death Knight stood on a sand dune, at least a kilometer away from it, but in its vision, the half-tree was still towering. Even with only half its trunk, it was still over 100 meters tall. A normal person would think the tree was dead at first glance. But in the undead vision, it was very much alive, with its soul fire burning intensely. Soon, more information came in. The scattered Death Knights continuously sent back information, all encountering monsters. The middle layer not only had a larger area than the outer layer, but also far more monsters. Thousands of Death Knights ran in different directions and all encountered monsters. The monsters they saw were all half-trees over 100 meters tall. The Death Knights didn't touch the tree monsters, or the withered vines scattered on the yellow sand, but chose to bypass them. Suddenly, the yellow sand ground moved slightly. The next moment, the withered vines suddenly lashed out at the Death Knights. In an instant, sand and stones flew, and the yellow sand rained down. The vines were too fast, showing the speed of a 7th-level Divine King. The Death Knights activated their charge ability, rushing forward at high speed. But there were too many vines, and the difference in strength was too great. With a bang, a Death Knight was directly struck by a vine. Its bones shattered, and its body torn apart along with its warhorse. It wasn't just one tree. All the Death Knights were attacked by the trees and died on the spot. Facing the attacks of 7th-level Divine Kings, the Death Knights had no resistance. In almost an instant, thousands of Death Knights were all killed. The yellow sand was scattered with the bones of the dead Death Knights. After the Death Knights died, they activated the Undying Undead passive spell and instantly revived. Their bones reassembled, and the Death Knights appeared intact again. The vines lashed out again like whips, instantly shattering the Death Knights. After 2 consecutive times, Lin Moyu suppressed the Undying Undead spell, temporarily stopping the Death Knights' revival. Such revivals were meaningless. They were killed as soon as they revived, with no chance to react. Lin Moyu quickened his pace, approaching the area where the Death Knights were attacked. Standing on a tall sand dune, Lin Moyu looked towards the direction where the Death Knights had died, tens of thousands of meters away. The 1,000 Death Knights weren't far apart, and the tree monsters were spaced thousands of meters apart, occupying a large area. They seemed scattered but appeared to follow some order.
Have the rules changed? The monsters here no longer use life aura as a judgment standard. Then what standard do they use to attack?
Previously, when the Death Knights observed from a kilometer away, the tree monsters didn't attack. The distance between them didn't change, always maintaining about a kilometer.
It's not because of life aura, nor because of distance. Then what is it?
Lin Moyu pondered for a few seconds and seemed to find the answer. He noticed that before the trees attacked, they all had one thing in common. The yellow sand ground would have a slight tremor. The tremor was very subtle, lasting only 2 or 3 seconds, easily overlooked if not paying attention. Lin Moyu had previously ignored this detail. Now he realized that this slight tremor alerted the tree monsters to the approaching enemies. The key was what caused these tremors. With a thought, he activated the Undying Undead spell, and a previously dead Death Knight silently revived. The revived Death Knight remained motionless, making no sound. The tree monster a kilometer away didn't attack it.
If I don't move, the enemy doesn't move.
Lin Moyu controlled the Death Knight's vision, monitoring all its movements, including those of its warhorse. The aura wasn't restrained, but the Death Knight emitted only death aura, not life aura. The death aura clearly didn't trigger the tree monster's attacks. As long as the Death Knight didn't make any noise, it wouldn't be attacked by the tree monsters. The tree monsters seemed to be in a dormant state, only waking up to attack. The key question was what woke the tree monsters to attack the Death Knights. Since the problem wasn't with the tree monsters themselves, it must be something outside the tree monsters, especially the slight tremor in the sand, which Lin Moyu believed was the key. If he could find the cause of the tremor, he could find the reason for the tree monsters' attacks. He wasn't afraid of the tree monsters. He just didn't want to cause too much commotion before eliminating the demons. A Death Knight's head gradually lowered, moving gently and slowly, trying not to make any noise. Lin Moyu tried to find the problem through the undead vision. In the undead vision, the world turned gray and white. The yellow sand also turned gray and white, rolling on the ground and in the air with the wind. After searching carefully for a long time, he found nothing. 1322